Alright. Let us jump into some Chrono Trigger. I'm gonna start a new game. Because I can, and to make sure that I get everything right this time. Still trying to figure out some stream issues. But I think I've figured out my mic settings. So that's something at least. It looks like it's running okay, so that makes me happy. It's just kind of a matter of getting comfortable. Now that we're actually in the game, I have to turn stuff down a little bit. It's a little on the loud side. Looks like you can read the text, so that's good. Can't forget the allowance. It's going to be important later. Let's run up here and get Marley. Oh no, your pendant. You totally can't find it by yourself. Here you go. Easy. Keep her original name. Run up here and grab the cat. Oh, the cat's getting stuck. Come on, cat. There we go. Little girl's happy. Everything's right in the world again. I really want that badass sword, and I'm willing to grind for it. I'm gonna do a little bit of that. So I'm gonna use this. What a C. Oh, what a classic. I thought you were going somewhere else with that one, man. Like, what a cunt, you know? Jeez. Escalated so quickly. That's a good thing. I don't know too many people that bad. I haven't even had my coffee yet. fame, I knew one guy that was, but that's past tense for a reason. Ooh. Take it you guys aren't friends anymore? Coworkers? Family? I mean, what is it? Just gonna be running through this forest for a little bit, because I do want to grind a little bit, get a few levels before I leave. Maybe even grind enough cash for the beginning sword. I think it'll help out quite a bit. They were a friend, but they were a savage bully. Gotcha. Not really a fan of bullies. Chrono can be lengthy, but it's not a bad grind. Yeah. And I really don't have to do this grind either. I could survive without having that. I think it's the steel sword right off in the beginning. I just want it, you know? It'll make me feel better. One of my viewers last night was saying, I think it was, you get it in the prison for free. But you know, that's a little further ahead, so if I could start with it, that'd be nice. I used to play these all the time growing up. Me too, man. I'm an 80s kid. So I grew up playing Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy, Breath of Fire, Secret of Evermore, Secret of Mana. I don't know if I said that one already yet. Pretty much anything you could find on the old school NES, the Super NES. I played a lot of Super Nintendo when I was a kid. And I was definitely a Nintendo fanboy over Sega Genesis. Sega had a few good games, but not enough to make me want to get one of their systems. Grind being optional is definitely a pro, yeah. Now we have to suffer one grind or another to get through certain fights. Yeah, I mean, depending on what kind of game you play nowadays, you almost have to grind. You don't really have a choice. That is definitely true. I mean, I'm a huge Dark Souls fan. And, you know, there's a lot of different philosophies on that, you know? Like, oh, you know, I'll do this under-leveled, or oh, this is the recommended level, or I'm not very good at the game, so I'm going to over-level, right? You know, to compensate. And I think a lot of people tend to do that. Sorry, just checking my phone here. Ordered a Amazon package, and it should be arriving today. I was all over the 64 when it came out. Oh, man. God, what was my first Nintendo 64 game? I'm trying to even remember. God, I remember having Star Fox. Star Fox was really good. I think I had Mario 64. I had a few decent games. Definitely nothing like what I experienced with the Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo is hands down my favorite console of all time. Because I'm usually pretty big in the RPG scene. How much money do I have? Not quite enough yet. This might take a little bit longer. I know it sucks to watch people grind, but, you know. Promise it will be cooler to start with that sword. So what are you up to today? You at work? Hanging out at home? Shit, I'm probably gonna have to be heading to work here myself soon enough. I wish I could do this full time, but I'm not even an affiliate yet, so it's kind of a pipe dream. I would love to just stream games all day and, you know, make a living off of it. But, you know, not everybody makes it that far. I had a bundle with Mario Kart 64, Pokemon Stadium with the Kart Pack, Star Fox, Jet Force, Gemini, and of course Ocarina of Time. Oh god, Zelda. I almost forgot about Zelda Ocarina of Time. That was a very good game. But, I'll be perfectly honest, I'm very partial to A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. That is probably my favorite Zelda game. I mean, I started, of course, with the one on the NES. Or two on the NES, because you had the first one and the second one. I want to say A Link to the Past was the third one, if I remember right. So yeah, number 3 is my favorite. I'll have an F14 Savage Raid group tonight. Oh man, I used to play FF14. Black Mage. I did level up some other classes or jobs or whatever you want to call them. That way when I queued up, if people needed a tank, I could play tank. If people needed a healer, I could heal as well. But primarily I was a Black Mage. I haven't played it for quite a while though. I think I stopped around Heaven's Word. So I've missed a few expansions, because I think they have, God, they have what, Shadow Walkers, Endwalker, I don't know, I don't even know all these new expansions, but, yeah. What, first, second expansion is right around where I stopped playing. I played with people who were from, one guy was from the UK, he was our tank, another guy was, or two guys, I'm sorry, were from Australia. And I think they finally came out with better servers for them, and they just had way too much lag on the US servers. A Link to the Past started it for you? Hell yeah, man. That was an amazing game. I think one of the first RPGs I ever played was probably Final Fantasy I on the NES. And then I also played a lot of Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest. Definitely, I mean, it's kind of a platformer, but it's also kind of an RPG at the same time. Just reading through what you're saying here. 3 more expansions, okay. I know one's like Shadowbringers, and I think the latest one's Endwalker, if I remember right, something like that. Yeah, I see. You typed it right there. Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker. Okay, yep. I knew it was something like that. I only have 1,500 gold. This is gonna take a little bit. I haven't been watching my my health here. I think I need to heal. Don't die, Marley. Don't die. She's got like 6 hit points left. gotta stay on top of healing. There we go. That's better. It's not bad, but I definitely played through them too fast. But the only thing that keeps me on, it is my Tuesday night raids. Yeah. My wife plays, or at least she did play World of Warcraft, and she was a raid leader. Got into it pretty heavily, but not me. I wasn't really into World of Warcraft. I tried it, and it just didn't, I don't know, it just wasn't for me, I guess. I was more of a fan of the RTSs. It's probably a very unpopular opinion, but, you know, what can I say? That's what I started out with on Warcraft. RTSs have a special place in my heart. I do miss playing Final Fantasy, though. I had a lot of fun in that MMO. The crafting was good. The storyline was eh. But the dungeons were definitely where it was at. I had a lot of fun going through the dungeons with my party and, you know, fighting the bosses, figuring out the mechanics. I used to play WoW myself, but after Mr. Pandora, I kind of left it, yeah. Yeah, and, you know, it seems like everybody who did play WoW, might even still play WoW, is kind of abandoning it for Final Fantasy. They're just scooping up everybody. Which, you know, all power to them. Somebody had to finally kill WoW. I mean, I think I kind of joke, you know, WoW killed itself with all the, you know, current scandals and whatnot. Story went up and down, but the dungeons on 14 were absolutely fun in my opinion. Hell yeah, even from the first dungeon, from the get-go, it was exciting for me. I only have almost $2 grand. It's not gonna be enough for that damn sword. Tried to play WoW again, but the swap from BFA to SL hurt me. Grinding Mythic for gear, prep for SL, and find that the new basic gear was better after it made me unsub there. Not 100% sure what all those things are. BFA to SL. Elder Scrolls Online? I've heard that's good. I think I played in the alpha or one of the betas. I don't remember which. But just never got into it. I've tried a lot of MMOs and man, I don't know. It's hard to find one that really jives with you. Because God, I played Guild Wars 1 and 2 and I didn't even really like those either. The way the abilities work and the skills and whatnot, it's weird. They just don't make a lot of sense. Oh, Battle for Azeroth, okay. Shadowlands, okay. That makes more sense. You gotta forgive me, I'm not a WoW player, so... Ooh, wind slash, okay. Level 5, got 2 grand. I got about half of what I need to buy that sword. Oh, God, let's start over here. I want to get back to StarCraft 2 style games. Yeah, I love StarCraft. Ever since the first one. Number 2 was actually pretty good. It was well done. Got the story with that competitive style gaming, but not as toxic as these other communities. Man, I don't know. StarCraft can be absolutely toxic. I played a little bit of the competitive PvP back when they had rankings up to Platinum, and I did make Platinum on solo, which was really good. But God, nowadays I think they have like Diamond and all sorts of crazy stuff. It's been a while since I played StarCraft. Yeah, words are hard. Absolutely. Can only agree. Play a lot of Overwatch and had some League. There's Apex and such now too, but StarCraft 2 was mild in comparison. I played a little bit of Overwatch, not too much. Was never a League player. I don't like MOBAs. I think the only MOBA I even like remotely enjoyed was Heroes of the Storm. That's probably because I like Blizzard games so much. I'm a huge Diablo fan. I love Diablo. Can't wait for Diablo 4. I just hope it isn't as much of a disappointment as Diablo 3 was. I mean, I'll be honest, it did get better once the expansion came out. And they brought in the Crusader. Got rid of that real money auction house. Much better game after that. But it still just wasn't at the level that Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 was. Hell yeah, man. I'm not shy about my love for Blizzard, but only certain games. And I probably have just about every game they have aside from World of Warcraft. But hey, you know, I tried it. It just wasn't for me, unfortunately. See, I go even further back. Diablo 1 was where it was at for me. That is my top Diablo game. And the reason for that is because it was dark, it was gothic, it scared the shit out of you. I mean, I remember being in middle school playing that game when it first came out. It was like, what, 97? You know, I had a really old school, God, what was it? I want to say it was like a 433 megahertz computer with a fucking 56K modem. It was such a piece of shit, but it was good enough to play that game and play with my friends online too. Remember doing a plug and play in school with a flash drive to play Diablo and Diablo 2 as well as Warcraft 1 through 3 with friends in the computer lab. Hell yeah, man. When I was in the computer lab, I was playing, I mean, this is even further back, I was playing like Oregon Trail and all sorts of other crazy games. I think on like old Macintosh computers. Later on, I think it was all about playing like, God, what the hell did we play? Played something. I don't know. I don't remember. Too many years ago. I'm getting old. I mean, I could barely remember what I had for breakfast this morning. Ugh, don't want to go to work. Can't that just be a full-time streamer? I have very fond memories of the Atari. Oh man, the Atari. God, what was one of my favorite Atari games? Archon, where it's set up like a chessboard and you control the pieces and they have to battle each other. Joust. My God, I spent so many hours playing Joust. Those are really the only two that I can remember off the top of my head. My brother is 7 years older than me, so we'd always kick my ass in video games, at least until I got older. And now I'd like to say I'm much better than he is. He might disagree with me, but that's okay. He can be wrong. He's allowed to be wrong. Probably check my gold here, see if I have enough money for that sword. Man, this grind is rough. Oh no. It's so scary when Chrono gets confused and starts attacking other party members. Because for me, he's always like the strongest character I have. You had Warlords, Asteroids, all the OG games that were more quality gaming than these kids these days will understand. Absolutely, I can only agree with you. Kids these days just don't get it. They don't understand what a quality story is, a quality game is. I mean, hell, even the gaming companies were better back then. Like, I always love talking about how Squaresoft was better than what we have now, Square Enix. Square Enix is just a piece of shit company. That is one merger they never should have done. I missed, you know, the old school Squaresoft days. They were a perfect company. They were one company I trusted so much with my money that if they would release a game and it was an RPG, I would buy it without doing any research. Oh, Chrono Trigger's out? Boom, buy it. Final Fantasy? Boom, bought it. But nowadays, it's like, you really can't do that. With any game, any company, for the most part. You have to, like, exhaustively research it. Otherwise, you're probably just going to be wasting your money. And I feel like quality has just gone downhill, you know? I mean, they release games in such a broken, buggy mess, and they're just like, oh, we'll patch it later and fix it. Back then, you had to get it right the first time, because you didn't get another shot, you know? You had a cartridge that wasn't hooked up to the internet. The kids, you know, these days don't understand that. You couldn't just update the game. You know, if there was a bug that made it into your game, it was there forever. Unless they finally released a updated cartridge or something, I guess, but graphics are literally just extra pixels. It's all about the gameplay, the fun, the story. Even the grind for me had quality. Yeah, I mean, some games can be fun to grind in. This one isn't too bad. Still pretty enjoyable. 2800. Still don't have quite enough for the sword yet. When we got internet gaming, the grass was untouched, and kids stayed in the darkness. Never see a bunch of bikes in the yard anymore. You know, that's absolutely true. I feel like the world is a much more dangerous place now, too. Used to be, you know, you could feel safe letting your kids run outside and play and do whatever without supervision. And, you know, you knew you had to get home when the streetlights turned on and everything was good, right? Can't do that anymore. There's just so many freaking crazy people out there. It seems like every time you turn around, we're some places getting shot up. I don't remember near as many shootings and whatnot when I was a kid. Screen dependency shows, and I miss how it used to be. You know, as much as I love technology, I could probably go back to, like, not having the internet. No internet, no cell phones, none of that, you know? God, I can't even imagine being a kid these days and, going through school with a cell phone. I mean, hell, they didn't even have to learn anything. Or pay attention in class, because they're just like, we'll just Google it, and Google will tell me the answer. So you don't even need to, like, retain knowledge. Hell, I'm pretty sure there's programs out there that'll even do your math or your math problems for you. Basketball in the park, kids running around and playing, even like inviting friends over to play some 64 or something like that. Oh my god, that was such a social thing too. I remember a lot of parties like that where you go over to your one friend's house and he's got the 64 and you all cram into the basement and it does the split screen. And of course, you know, you're playing something like GoldenEye and they're always like screen cheating off your screen so they can get the drop on you. Nobody ever played that fair, but you know, that was part of the fun. And you gotta fight over who gets to play Odd Job or the one scientist model, you know, because they're super short. But sometimes it didn't always work out, because even though they were so short and they were hard to hit sometimes, wherever you might have kept your cursor for your aim, almost made it easier to shoot them in the head. Now look at that, Chrono's confused again. At least he's attacking the bird and not Marley. Oh man. We played the shit out of GoldenEye, Super Smash Brothers. We played a lesser known game called Winback. Perfect Dark. Oh my god, we played the shit out of Perfect Dark. What happened to those days, man? It's just not like that anymore. What are we up to? Alright, we got 3,200. We're almost there. Not too far off. Alright. Forgot about Perfect Dark. When Twisted Metal first came out on PlayStation 2. I don't think I really played Twisted Metal. wasn't really too into like racing games. I think the only ones I ever really got into were maybe Mario Kart and the other one I'm thinking of, F-Zero. Played a lot of F-Zero. That's more like Super Nintendo days. When stuff started coming out like Gran Turismo and all this other crap, I just wasn't into it. I just recently got a PlayStation 5 and I got Gran Turismo 7 with it. It's still in the plastic, haven't even touched it, because I could care less. As soon as I had that system in my hands, it was about Horizon Forbidden West, Demon Souls, and I've also been playing Ghost of Tsushima. I'm probably saying that wrong. Tsushima, something like that. It was like a slightly more intense Vigilante 8 in my opinion. Okay. Not familiar with that one. When I got a PlayStation, the PlayStation 1, God, what did I have? I had Final Fantasy VII. I probably spent hundreds of hours in that game. Metal Gear Solid. A lot of other random ass RPGs. Yeah, not really racing games or anything like that. Just not really my style. Just not what I'm into. $3,500, almost there. On my 64, I think it was just more about, yeah, Super Mario, Zelda, GoldenEye. I played a lot of GoldenEye. I love that game. I know I think they've tried to re-release that or remake it or whatever a few times, and they just haven't been able to do it justice. It's kind of like in the movie business, you know? They reboot and they remake and they just screw it up. It's like, how hard is it? But, you know, it's hard to recapture the old school. I also feel like you don't have the caliber of actors and directors and writers, you know, that we used to have back in the day. Probably what makes it really tough for them. Racing games weren't the biggest thing ever. I mean, with games like Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, Resident Evil, being a racing gamer made little sense. They did try to remake it a few, but the original was too great. Yes, it was. I almost forgot to mention Resident Evil. Resident Evil was, that game has a very special place in my heart. Because I remember being a young kid in middle school and, you know, games like Resident Evil and Grand Theft Auto were coming out. And they started getting those game ratings where it's like, oh, this is mature or adult or whatever rating they used. And I was too young at the time. So I had to like shop around and figure out who would sell it to me. And eventually I walked away with a copy of, I want to say it was the first Resident Evil or the second Resident Evil, and that really started my love for those games. And you know, over the years I played, God, pretty much every Resident Evil you can think of. Another favorite for me was the Parasite Eve series. The first two games, we don't talk about the third one, it doesn't exist. My alarm's going off. Reminding me that I have to stop having fun and have to go work for the man. By God, I am gonna buy this sword before I have to go. Having to sneak that GTA Vice City into the house to play. Oh, man. Yeah. There were certain games you couldn't play around the parents, considering what happens in those games. It's like, don't worry, Mom. I'm just, you know, screwing this hooker on the side of the road, and then I'm gonna kill her, get my money back, and then, you know, dump the car in the ocean. I mean, kind of hard to explain that to him. I remember playing, I was a kid playing Resident Evil 2. And my dad, you know, he's super old school, retired police officer now. Was still a police officer at the time when I was playing it, and sat down and watched me play for a bit. And in that game, as you probably well know, you get injured, you know, you get bitten. You have to mix these herbs, and it looks like marijuana plants. And that's how you heal yourself. And I had to try and explain to somebody who doesn't play video games, was a current law enforcement officer, that don't worry, Dad, these aren't drugs. These are just medicinal plants that I'm using to heal my wounds. Talk about awkward, you know? Alright, how much money we got? We have $4 grand finally. And you make the plants and the tablets to top it off, I know. Oh, God. So true. I think my favorite healing item was the first aid spray. I don't know how that heals people, but somehow it worked. Here we go. The silver sword for $4 grand. And I only get 9 points. God, it's almost not worth it. You know what? It's ours. And we get rid of that stupid wooden sword. Might hang on to it. Makes you wonder. Definitely looks suspicious in fairness, yeah. Makes you wonder if there was a virus or you were just super doped up. God, that'd be kind of crazy. You were just super high the whole time, it didn't actually happen. Let's go get a free rest in. Cause why not? I like free stuff. Alright, sadly, I do have to quit, but I'll probably be playing this or something else. I got the next 2 days off. I just gotta, you know, go slog away at work tonight. But before I leave, I think we should raid somebody. Because, you know, people appreciate that. So let me see if I can find somebody to raid. I bet you anything, somebody is probably playing this as well. Oh yeah, man, I'd appreciate that. Definitely trying to make this a thing on the regular.
I'm stuck in this, like, infinite time loop thing. I'm reliving the same day over and over again. I get to do whatever I want. Plus, Taco Bell Contra Fries never leave the menu.
Alright, as soon as this ad stops playing, see if this is gonna be a good enough guy to raid. Yeah, once I get a chance to play this a little bit longer.
Much, much better.
Yeah, sure, why not? Let's raid this
Very
guy.
good, very good. Anything is baby, or anything is better than the baby sound, right? Let me put you back on the BRB screen, and be right back. Be right back. Be right back again. That is exactly what he's saying. Oh shit! Here, Ule. Hello, Raiders! Hello! How are you guys doing? Hi! I'm on a break, but it's good to see every Raider in here. Grim Tech, what were you streaming? Shout out to Grim Tech. Chrono Trigger! Let's go, dude. Shout out to... Are you there?
Are you there?
Yes.
Whoa!
I can see smoke coming from the old ruin.
That was weird!
Oh god.
Did anybody catch that?
They're killing people.
Did anybody catch that?
Who?
Man, I don't know why. I
That
need to
was
kill some of them. I have
weird.
no choice.
That can't have been easy.
I said, what's up, Vincent?
It's scary just how easy.
How you
it
doing
was.
today, Vincent?
You've got to warn the others, Roth.
Don't worry about them right now. You just do whatever it takes to get to me, Lana.
Yo,
try.
Chrono Trigger for the win. Dude, I played your clip. Thank you for the raid. I said, are you there to Grimtack? And then I played his clip, and the first thing that played in his clip was the guy in talking to Lara Croft going, are you there? That was so, it sounded like, are you there? Are you there? Oh, that was so weird. Like, what are the chances? Good, chilling? Well, we're also chilling with our Chrono Trigger stream. Grimtack